Welcome everybody to the Max Jason podcast. It's my turn. This is a cool episode because this is my very first episode while I'll be recording to post the video to YouTube on my YouTube channel. So hope you guys stop by and check it out both on YouTube or on my podcast. So either way is an option. You can actually put a face to the voice, which is pretty cool, or a face to the name. Either way. So this particular journey that I've been on. This episode is actually going to go into talking about the changing point for me a little bit, kind of what I've been getting into, and what I have found that is kind of working for me thus far. So, most of you may have listened to my podcast so far, and if you haven't, jump on anytime, obviously. Check out all the episodes. Talk about my story and kind of what I'm trying to get into and what I'm trying to achieve. And one of the things that I have found just by listening to people and at least on the social media platforms is everyone says it's so easy to get into, so easy to get into, so easy to get into. And, I don't totally agree. I think that there's, I think there's some, so I wouldn't say lie to that, but if you don't really kind of understand the intricate details within how to get things started, it's very hard to get started. It's very hard to understand, excuse me guys, where do you post this link and where do you post that link and how do you, how do you, pull it all together and how do you do it without getting in trouble? I mean, I signed up for Amazon and within like a couple days I was shut down. Luckily I was able to get it back on, which was great, but it's crazy. It's like, okay, what did I do wrong? Where's all these rules and regulations? And it's a mess. Okay. So with the OFA challenge, which is one of the ones that I've been getting into, you can actually go to www.mxsources.com, which will take you to my links, and you can check out the OFA challenge, which I highly recommend doing the OFA challenge if you're looking to get into affiliate marketing. Okay, it was a complete success for me in the sense of opening up my mind to see the different paths of how to get into affiliate marketing. What are some of my resources I need to be looking into, and just great information to figure out, how do I get this and how do I do that and whatnot. The part that I'm missing, and then I'm excited to get hopefully some help doing this, is understanding how to pull it all together, I guess. There's a lot of, bits and pieces that there's a lot of different gaps that's like, how do I do this? So, I definitely recommend the OFA challenge, and this is not a plug for it, but if you're interested in doing it, great. If not a problem. I don't ever try to push anything on anybody, but I'm all about opportunity. And if you want to learn opportunity and try it, go for it. I think it's something you should definitely give it a try. So with that being said, the next part that I'm getting into is trying to learn how to put this whole puzzle piece together. I have the puzzle. I know what the picture looks like. I got all the pieces, but I don't know how to kind of put it all together. So I was on this Facebook group, and in the Facebook group, they everyone tries to get together as like-minded people to communicate with each other and think about ideas and talk about how to do this and how to do that. And of course, some of them have alternative. They all have goals. And I'm a firm believer in don't criticize those people for those goals. If they are trying to sell a product, great. If they're trying to sell a service, amazing. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? I mean, if they're not doing that, then I honestly don't trust them, because they're not putting the effort in to try to sell something eventually. Okay, you can never make the sale if you never ask for the sale. Okay, that's one thing that I learned as a salesman is, you can still be a good salesman, okay, without being pushy and stuff. Sometimes you just got to ask for the sale. If you don't ask for the sale, you're never going to get the sale. It's that simple. And people might disagree with me, but I have found in my journey so far with being a salesman, I have been outsold by other salesmen. And I asked myself, what did they do different? I answered all that customer's questions. I did everything. What did they do different? And literally came down to something simple. They asked for the sale. That was it. I mean, it was so crazy. But so anyways, I reached out to, so this one gentleman had reached out to me and wanted to just kind of say hi, how am I doing? I think I asked some questions within the group about my progress and what can I get some advice about something, and he said he could help me out. So I said, sure, why not? Let's talk. So we got together via Zoom call, and he started talking to me about what he's done. He asked me about what I've done. We tried to have a little bit of a communication, a little bit of a bonding moment, which is pretty cool, which is a good tactic, very good tactic. Try to bond with the people you're with, which is great. And he did ask permission if he could, uh, um, you know, see if I was interested in his product and or his services, shall I say? And I said, absolutely, go for it. Let me hear what you got. Because see, that's the cool thing. So I was talking to my wife the other day, and she says to me, she says, "Well, how do you not fall for all these gimmicks and stuff?" And I said, "I'm not afraid to hear what people have to say, and I'm not afraid to listen to what they have to offer, even if I don't find the offer interesting, or even if I do find the offer interesting, doesn't matter. What I get to learn from what they're talking about, or their perspective they're putting on it, or the twist they're putting on it, or the flair they're putting on, whatever. If I get to learn, or at least, what's the word I'm looking for? Pay attention to the clues of how they're doing it, or how they're selling, or the terminology is saying. I'm actually learning from them, and I haven't forked out a dime, which is pretty cool. So it's definitely kind of cool to do that, and I think it's definitely something you should always do, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're talking to, no matter what you're talking about, who you're hanging out with. Anytime someone does something, when you go to let's say you go to the fair, or you go to the circus, or you go, I don't know, to the movies or whatever, and you see how certain people act, and you're like, oh, I wish I had that, or I wish I could do this, or wish I could do that. Watch what they're doing. What are they doing that might have gotten them to that position? I'm watching a really good show right now called Undercover Billionaire. Very, very cool show. One of my favorite motivational speakers is on there, and I learned about him back in the day when I used to work at Camping World. His name is Grant Cardone. And Grant Cardone is a beast of a salesman. He's phenomenal. But the one thing I noticed that he did, now mind you, there's a lot of things he does. You can't learn everything in one show. But the one thing I did notice that he did was that anytime he went somewhere in this show, okay, he was under a different alias and everything. He actually, every time he approached somebody, he'd walk up and say, "Hey, what's your name? Hey, what's your name? Hey, what's your name? Hey, what's your name?" Like, he always had to get information. So he got their name. He might have, he gave him a handshake or whatever the case may be. He always got as much information from them, even if it was a short visit, whether they couldn't help him or they could help him in that situation. He had their name. He had a contact. He had some information about them that was free information. So back to my story, back to the core thing I was talking about. I talked to this gentleman who I'm speaking with. His services is basically a coach or a mentor of affiliate marketing. He has success within it, but he's not making hundreds and millions of $1,000s, or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it shows me that he is a real person, still doing the hustle right now, and I get to kind of work with him instead of for him, or I get to work alongside of him, which is pretty cool. So he talked to me about what he can offer and what he would be willing to do for me. Now, there are some cool promotional things that I would be getting through ClickFunnels, which is great. ClickFunnels is a great program. That's part of the OFA. Absolutely get into it. I actually 100% believe that OFA, or at least the ClickFunnels program, is going to revolutionize the way people market in general. Okay, so I absolutely 100% believe that. Whether you purchase it or not, or don't purchase it, or don't ever look at it again, doesn't matter. I'm just saying that from my experience. But anyways, so there were some cool benefits of the OFA within the package that he offered me. But he also offered me, day-to-day phone calls, twice a month Zoom calls, and access to a couple different things that he's going to be able to provide me with that will help get me on my feet to where to look for traffic, and where to post my link, and how to post my link, and how to do this and how to do that. There was some great advice, so I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways because I don't really care. I also took the Entre Blueprint Challenge, which is by a gentleman named Jeff Lerner. Jeff Lerner is a phenomenal motivational speaker. I think motivational speaker. Even though he's teaching a service, he's teaching something to you about money. He teaches you about 3 principles, which is physical, personal, professional. Say it one more time because I do talk fast, and I do apologize about that. It is physical, personal, and professional. He talks about lifting your life up in general. Don't just lift your money situation, lift your mind, lift your physical presence, lift your personal presence, and of course your professional presence as well. Very, very cool analogy. But anyways, he talks about uplifting yourself and motivating yourself, and as a core, which is really, really cool. So, you know, looking up this, oh yeah, my point, I'm sorry. So the point of my conversation was he has something that he said. One of his secrets is he says, why go out and reinvent the wheel? Why go and reinvent something that's already been invented? Now, don't get me wrong. If you can, great, go make a bunch of money at it. But if you don't have, as shall we say, the imagination, like me, the imagination to go out and create something new, I'm good at doing a job, not really creating something new. I don't have the best imagination. I'm getting there. I'm trying to learn certain things. But anyways, he said, just copy a millionaire. It's that simple. Just copy somebody. And I was amazed on actually how much that fits into my life already. Because from the time of, I don't know, let's say 10 years old, when I started to think for myself, shall we say, and started to realize life, I actually lived, and I said this on one of my older podcasts, I said I lived my life 2 years at a time. Because what I was doing is I would listen to people, and I would take what they said, try to apply it in my life, and then at my 2-year mark, I'd reevaluate and say, okay, what have I learned in the last 2 years that I can change, that I can benefit myself? And then I learned from somebody else, and then I learned from somebody else, and then I learned from somebody else. These are people that have been through what I went through. They've been through their 20s, they've been through their teens, they've been through their 30s, they've been through their 40s. I mean, they're learning these different things. And why go out and keep falling over the same sticks that they fell on, when they would say, hey, don't step there, hey, don't step there. And now I can save myself from falling all the time, and going to the next level, which is very cool. So I think that's a really, really cool thing to do, and I'm super excited about that, and to go down this journey now. So long story short, I loved what he had to offer. My wife and I got together and we talked about the cost, because there is a cost to it, obviously. Everything has a cost. And again, if you're one of those people that believes everything should be free, then, I won't say the negative, but I will say, that's a terrible mindset to have, because, if everything's free, no one's ever going to work or hold themselves accountable to, hold yourself accountable to get into what you want to get into. So, for example, I sell RVs and whatnot. And people, we ask for deposits. Now, a lot of people at every dealership you go across the country normally put down some type of deposit. I think, and again, I'm not speaking for all dealerships, but a majority of the dealerships, the reason why they do a deposit is because a deposit holds the customer accountable, puts some skin in the game. Okay, and that's what a deposit is, and that's really cool. So by me paying money into something, it wasn't a lot of money, so don't get me wrong, it was a chunk, but it wasn't a lot, but it was enough to say, okay, now I got money in the game, I gotta hold myself accountable. It's go time. It's time for me to step up and force this to happen. This person isn't going to do the work for me, but can he give me the tools or give me the insight of what to do, and then I'm going to go to work and get it done. Especially if I want to achieve my goals, I got to do this. I have to do this. I'm going to reiterate some of my goals, because this is, again, my first YouTube video that's going to be going live on YouTube, to hopefully a lot of people that will check it out. But some of my goals are simple. I work 2 jobs right now. I'm a wedding DJ, and I also manage a very small RV dealership. And I want to kind of be financially free. I enjoy what I do, but I hate having to, shall we say, work paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes it gets that way. It's very tough. Bills are overwhelming and life happens. So obviously one of my potential goals, or I should say one of my definite goals on my dream board, is to become financially free, making a $5,000 to $10,000 a month income just off affiliate marketing, or something that this leads to. Of course, my next goal will be buying a house for my family and I, having success in my business, both in the MX Productions and the RV business and my affiliate marketing business. And one of my personal goals is to lose some weight. I want to kind of bring my weight down, bring my mind up, and achieve my goals. And there's only one person who's going to get me there, and that's me. The last thing I'll say to leave you guys with, this is the phrase and the saying. There's a saying out there. You've all heard it. I just said it. The only person that's going to change who you are is you. Okay. Now, you've heard that before. I've heard it before. Everyone's heard that before. But I want you to take a moment and I want you to actually think about that for a minute. Literally say it to yourself. The only person that's going to change your situation is you. Literally think about that. You need to get up and go do that. That's the only person who's going to change that for you. So thank you so much for checking out my channel. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Also, check out the podcast. It's called It's My Turn. You can see it on all your podcast sources, Spotify and such. And of course, if you're on my podcast, check out my YouTube channel. And if you follow along, again, feel free to comment and check out any and all links that I have going up. You will periodically see links. But heck, that's kind of the part of the journey. So that's going to be under www.mxsources.com. Thank you so much, guys. Talk to you soon. See you later.